I know I got my man from Motor City.
We're live. Welcome. I'm Brother Paul. This is Squared Circle Shenanigans. As you know, you got Jeff. This is my other co-host, Reese. How's it going?
Doing well.
Hey, boys. Hey, Reese. Hey, boys. We're in my home in Tampa Bay. In my office, I walk through and show you guys some paraphernalia and some pics and stuff as we go on. But I'm ready to be on your podcast. Congratulations, boys.
Awesome.
Thank you for
so
coming
much.
on.
Always happy to have you.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Very cool. Thanks, Jeff.
No problem. Like I said, I love having you talking to you.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks, Daddy. You always hook me up. Did I meet any of you guys in Battle Creek when I was there with Van Dam and we did Brian Cage in the main event at Killer?
I think you met Paul.
Yeah. Met me.
And you know I was there.
Yes, of course.
I don't think Reese
Reese, did you go?
I don't think
No,
Reese
I
could
didn't
make
go.
It, no.
So this is first time meeting you, even though it's virtually.
All right.
It's better than
That's
that.
cool. Cool, Daddy. So how's the podcast going for you guys? You guys got sponsors?
Yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
do. Absolutely. We were
Congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
here's another question. How many followers are you guys trying to reach?
As many as we can get right now. We're just over 1,000, I believe, right now. So
Congratulations. That's a good number.
thank you.
Thank you.
You generally, I don't go on podcasts that have small, I'll help guys sometimes, but the guy calls me and says, hey, you want to be on my podcast? And I ask them, they got sponsors? And they say, no. How many followers? They say 93. No, thank you. But God bless them. Call me when
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
everybody's got to get a start somewhere, but,
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
but I'm happy for you guys. Good, man. And I can tell that you guys work hard to get that 1,000, and you guys love the business. If you got a podcast about pro wrestling, sports entertainment, you guys love the business just like me, Daddy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Most definitely. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So let's get into it.
Hell yeah. I'm your guest. Talk away.
So what you been doing the last couple months since I seen you?
Well, I'm doing tours all over the country. Like this weekend, I got Miami for a company called CCW. I'm going to do this big thing in Rhode Island. A big convention. Dennis Rodman and a few of the boys are going to be there, and all kind of. It's pretty cool. I'm in. I got a convention coming up in Connecticut, right outside of Hartford. That one in Boston. Let's see what else I got. Oh, we got that big deal, WrestleMania. Oh, I'm pulling up my schedule right now. Thank you. I got a beautiful, tall, blonde Hungarian my wife. She won't let me show you, but she's tall and beautiful. So I'm staying busy. I'm working almost every weekend, and WrestleMania weekend, of course, is in Philadelphia. I'm there for 3 days. Sabu and I, Sandman, they're gonna have a ECW type booth for Woo. It's a wrestling game.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I'm part of the game, and we're going to be promoting that. So I'm there for 3 days doing that, and I'm also doing a show at the ECW Arena that Saturday night in Philly for Feinstein. He's got a convention daytime, and he's got a show that night, which I'm on. So, and plus I'm doing an appearance. They got a hell of a wrestling store in Philly. I forget the name of it. It's on South Street. It's relatively new. I was in there. I was in Philly doing a convention for Feinstein a little over a month ago. And I went in. I had a break in between the convention and the show. And I went to that store. Man, and it was so cool. So if you guys come to WrestleMania weekend, make sure you go to that store on South Street. It's badass.
Well, you never know what I'm going to show up at. So, it's a possibility.
Yeah, Jeff, I thought you might be coming down for WrestleMania.
Well, actually, Sabu was just here in town yesterday, actually. Day before yesterday, was it?
Yes, sir.
I don't even know what day it is anymore. But yeah, he was here just the other day. I didn't get a chance to see him. But I guess the autograph thing went pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah, I got to see Sabu for a little bit. A lot of people were there to meet him and
Good.
get to talk to him, sign a couple autographs.
I'm with him. I got 2 appearances coming up with him. The one in Rhode Island, February 17th, and then the one in Connecticut, right outside of Hartford. We're doing that together. And of course, WrestleMania weekend we're together. And plus, we got Van Dam with us.
Sweet.
So I see those guys all the time, and I just stay busy. Thank you. It's freaking great to stay busy.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
But on weekends.
Oh yeah.
So you guys got a question? I don't want to take up all the time.
Yeah.
So if Keith, do you want to go or do you?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to ask you, what made you fall in love with wrestling?
Well, I grew up in Tampa during the territory days, Florida Championship Wrestling with Gordon Soley and Dusty and Eddie Graham, about 12 or 13 years old. And I really didn't know anything, not one thing about wrestling. I didn't even know it existed. So my dad was friends with the sports editor for the Tampa newspaper, and the Florida wrestling office used to put an ad in their paper, who's going to wrestle on Tuesday nights and so on and so on. So my dad had lunch with a guy, and they gave the editor of the sports page 2 comp tickets. And he said, "Hey, Steve, you got kids at home. They give me these comp tickets, and I never use them." So my dad came home with 2 comp tickets to Florida Championship Wrestling. I was about 13 years old, and it was on a Friday. And I didn't know anything about the business. He said, "Hey, Billy, I got tickets for wrestling." I said, "Wrestling? What's that?" And I said, "I'm not interested." So they set up on the fireplace all weekend. Tuesday came around and got curious and said, "Well, hey, Dad, would you drop me off? I'm going to take me and my best friend. We're going to go see this wrestling. See what it's about." I walk in. There's Eddie Graham, Bobby Shane, Bobo Brazil. I fell in love with the sports entertainment business that night. And I wanted to wrestle, but I wanted to become a wrestler. I fell in love with the business. I said, "Oh my God, I love this." And of course, I'm the small guy, and I was like 155 pounds back in the day. I'm just 165 now. There's no way to be a wrestler, but as time goes by, I start meeting the guys. I met Rocky Johnson and King Curtis and, different guys. Go get them sandwiches and pick them up at the airport and stuff like that. And they end up saying, "Fonzie, you'd make a great referee." And I never thought about it. Here I am 44 years later, been in the business and never had another job in my life, but professional wrestling, sports entertainment. Started off in Texas, 1978 with the Funks. Then I got a full-time job in May of 1980 for Florida Championship Wrestling with Eddie Graham owned the territory. Gordon Soley, the commentator. Dusty was the booker. Got hired there and was there until the territories closed and went to WCW, worked there for a few years. Then I went to WWF in 92 and 93 and ended up doing WrestleMania. I just missed WrestleMania 8. I came in right after WrestleMania 8. I did WrestleMania 9, and then I left before 10 and went to ECW.
Now, you spoke about somebody's from my past. My very first matches with Bobo Brazil.
Wow.
That's
So
been a few years ago.
Bobo's was a big name, and when I got my full-time job, May of 1980, Bobo had been in the business already 30 years, and he was on his last tour. He had maybe had a year or 2 left.
Yep.
He retired. But so I got to work with guys like that, the Sheik, Bobo Brazil, Jack Briscoe on their tail end of their career. And then it was, of course, the Dusties and the Dick Murdochs and all those guys, the next generation, and Barry Windham and Shawn Michaels and then Brett the Hitman, all those guys. So I worked with everybody. But Bobo Brazil was one of my favorites. What a big guy.
Oh, Lord. He had the biggest hands of anybody I've ever seen.
And he was treated me. Now, you remember, I was a fan growing up, 12, 13 years old. I'd be watching these guys, and then they get to meet him and work with them.
Yeah.
Man, what a time I had. And I told Bobo Brazil, I said, "Hey, I was born and raised in Tampa, and I was a big wrestling fan. It was so nice to meet you. And he was the most charming guy, and it couldn't be nicer to me.
Yeah.
So they say never meet your heroes, but I met them all, and they were all very cool.
Yeah, like I said, me and Terry were pretty good friends there for a while too. I loved him to death. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever asked to meet.
Terry Funk?
Yes.
Yes, that's where I started, got my start. Um, and I worked with him until, from 1978 all through Florida when you had the NWA belt, which is right here. You guys see the NWA belt?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Harley Race gave me, of course, it's a replica. Somebody gave it to Harley Race, and I refereed so many of Harley Race's title matches with Barry Windham and Dusty and so on in Florida. He gave me that belt. He didn't want it for some reason. He didn't want a copy. So that's from Harley Race to me, which was pretty cool. And Florida Championship Wrestling, and go back in the day with there's Dusty and Kevin Sullivan. There's WrestleMania 9, the tallest athlete on the planet. Look at Hogan. And Giant Gonzalez makes him look like and Hogan's tall, right?
Wow.
Yes.
I got some cool stuff. You guys remember when Bueller beat my ass and I was bled to death?
Yep.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Absolutely.
Put over. When I do these conventions and Comic Cons and WrestleCons, that's one of the number one questions. They want to talk about the Bueller Fonzie match. Then they also want to talk about the famous Lex Luger Bruiser Brody in the cage match. So those are the two questions I get a lot, and of course all kind of stuff. There's Andre the Giant. I worked with him. It started off in the 80s. He stepped on my foot and cracked the bone in my foot, and it still hurts today. Every once in a while, it never healed properly, and every once in a while it swells up a little bit. And that was like 1982. Andre stepped on my foot, and it still hurts. That's the shoot. I'm making it funny, but that's the true story.
Yeah, like I said, he just wanted you to remember him from now on.
Oh yeah, Andre's badass. Love Andre.
Yep.
Of course, I'll just walk you through some stuff. Of course, there's my man Sabu, and I got a lot of pics and different stuff. Got some dope ass jackets if you ever guys are interested in some jackets.
Yeah, I just seen those. I haven't got around to getting one yet.
Yeah, have you
both seen them?
I just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just got ordered 6 of them, and they just came in like yesterday. 2 of them were sold already, but I have them all the time. So if you ever guys want one, I'll hook you up. I'll just go through Jeff, and I'll get you a deal on them. They're $200, but I'll give you guys a break.
Awesome.
What else I got? Just tons of pictures with Taz. Of course, Van Damme when we went to Japan. There's Francine tagging my name with graffiti. Fucking beautiful Francine. She's got a podcast too, guys.
Oh, does she?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. She's got followers. She's badass. Speaking of Terry Funk, there he is.
Yeah.
Dr. Jesse Williams, and I did his last match, 50 years of the Funks, his last match in Texas, in Amarillo, and here's the card, Amarillo at the fairgrounds.
So did you referee his last match?
No, I didn't referee his match, but I managed Sabu that night.
Oh, okay.
So it was Terry Funk against Bret Hart, Mankind against Sabu with Fonzie managing Sabu, Jake the Snake and the Headhunters against Tanaka, Hayabusa, Van Damme against Dory Funk, the Bushwhackers. So it was pretty good card. So that's the original poster.
That's cool.
That's great.
Yeah, I got stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And of course, all my pics that I've through the years, you know what I mean? And check out all these magazines.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
All the Japanese magazines. I'm on the cover with Giant Gonzalez, and all these are from the 80s and 90s. I'm in every magazine that you see here. I'm in or on the cover or something.
Crazy cool.
Which is pretty cool, pretty cool. People try to buy them from me, and I won't sell them, but because I only got one. You know what I mean?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Is my backstage pass or WrestleMania 9. Somebody tried to buy that off me. I said, I don't want to sell it. I said, I'll give you $1,000 for it.
Jeez.
I was close to selling it for $1,000, believe me, but
Mhm.
how can I get that? You know what I mean? I said, I'll make you a copy. He said, no, I want the original, but it was tempting, but I didn't sell it. But I do sell other shit,
Oh
pictures
yeah.
and got all kind of cool shit. If you guys are ever interested in anything ECW, call me and I'll hook you guys up through Jeff at 40% discount or something. So this is kind of my office. I just moved my desk. I just ordered a new desk, so that's why it's kind of in shambles. I just got thrown around, Daddy.
Understandable. That's awesome. So clearly, like we've talked about it, your referee time during that time, WrestleMania 9.
Yes.
Gonzalez Undertaker, the odd man out. Clearly, you at the moment. What was it like during that time? What was the feeling like between two giant behemoths, in front of that crowd like that?
It was very cool.
Focused, calm.
And you remember Giant Gonzalez, they brought him in. He was playing European basketball, and there was a scout. Ted Turner owned the Atlanta Braves, owned the Hawks. He owns this. He owns CNN. He owned WCW. So an agent spotted Giant Gonzalez playing European basketball and said, hey, we'd like you to come play for the Hawks. So they brought him in, but his knees were bad already, and he couldn't play NBA full strength. So they said, hey, we can't take you to NBA because of your knees, but we own a wrestling company. He said, wrestling, what's that? He said, don't worry, we'll train you. So they trained him, and they ended up putting him with me. I was his assistant. It was personal assistant for 3 years. We traveled the whole world, and he was never a good worker. What got him over being 8 foot. He was actually 7'8", but they built him as 8 foot. But still the tallest athlete on the planet. Anybody closer was a kid who played basketball, Ming for Houston.
Yep.
He was real tall, but Giant Gonzalez was taller. So, so it was a great feeling to have the Undertaker, one of the biggest WWE superstars, or WWF back in the day, WrestleMania 9, and the tallest athlete on the planet. They shot the angle and end up having that match. It wasn't a spectacular match because Giant Gonzalez couldn't work, but Undertaker was so good, he took care of him, and it ended up being very entertaining. And I was very pleased and proud that I was a part of it, and I ended up getting chokeslammed by the Giant.
Yeah.
And the match. And they actually find the state athletic commission in Nevada, you can't touch a referee. Boxing,
Really?
you're in fucking trouble. So he chokeslammed me, and the fucking athletic division, they fined Giant Gonzalez $10,000 for manhandling the referee. But of course, Vince paid for it, and they knew that going into that he was going to get fined, but they didn't know it was going to be 10 grand. But of course, they pay. It's a probably $500 million weekend for them guys. They just had a Rumble here this Saturday in Tampa, and it was like $50 or $60 revenue increase in Tampa Bay. Tampa's a great city. We got the football, baseball, hockey,
Right.
Basketball right down the street in Orlando, NBA. We're on the beach. We got great weather. It was 82 here 2 days ago. But back to Gonzalez and Undertaker and WrestleMania 9, it was pretty damn cool just to be on a WrestleMania, much less, between the tallest athlete and one of the biggest stars, Undertaker.
Absolutely.
It was pretty spectacular. And that was actually one of my biggest paydays in the business.
Oh, wow.
Where else are you going to make bigger money than WrestleMania?
Yeah,
That's
right.
right.
Now, do you still get a residual check from that?
No. Nope. We signed a deal that, we got paid, but Vince paid me very well.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. So I wish I got residuals, but my residuals I get is they use me once in a while. I'm still affiliated with WWE. They invite me to any shows that come to Florida, bring my family, come backstage, and so on. And I did something with them a few years ago. We did, they bought the rights to ECW.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they had something, ECW show, and I was on that. That was probably 10, 12 years ago. Everybody was on it, but I'm still affiliated with them.
Yeah. See, I used to get a
Interesting.
residual check from someplace I worked for in Canada, and it went from like $100 one year to $60 the next year to $30. Then I think the last
Right.
one was $8.
Right.
Wow.
I don't even remember what.
Interesting.
Don't even remember what company it was even.
Right. I was just in, I did, right. You guys know Greek Town?
Yep.
Yeah.
The wrestling, what's the kid's name who runs it?
That one I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
He owns it, and he runs there monthly, and he runs right outside of Toronto, London, and somewhere else. But it's about an hour east of Toronto, and then they run another show an hour west of Toronto. They do really good. It's one,
Now that's not Scott Demore, is it?
yeah, Scott.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
Not Scott Demore, but damn it,
It was somebody who was hanging with him for a while.
right.
I can't remember his name.
Great guy's great, blonde-headed kid, kind of like about Shawn Michaels size, can work his ass off. It's kind of a hardcore company. They do really good. They draw 500 plus.
Cool.
That's cool.
For them, I also work for AIW. It's a company that's been around for a long time out of Cleveland. John Thorne. I've been working for them once a month the last 4 years. I work for another company, CCW. That's the one I'm going for in Miami this weekend. I've been working with them once or twice a month in Florida. They draw 700, 800 to 1,000 people on their shows. And then indies all over the country, and of course, WrestleCons and appearances and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Staying busy, boys,
Absolutely awesome.
which is great for me. I enjoy it, just working weekends, And I sell my gimmicks, I sell the jackets and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And I get to do podcasts and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, this is the only way we're gonna get to hang out for a little while.
Right? Right, Daddy?
Yeah. Hey, I bought a place down in Missouri we can go hang out at.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hell yeah. You guys got shows there?
I don't have any there. We have them here. Rhino puts on a show here.
Right?
Yeah.
You ought to talk to him about coming in.
IW.
Yep.
It'd be cool to see you here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But the thing is, if they're going to be drawing 5 plus, because
Yeah, they draw pretty well. They're bringing Shane Douglas in, I think, to the next one. And he was here a couple weeks ago, and so yeah, they bring in a couple names every time.
I see Rhino all the time. He does a lot of these conventions, the same conventions I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, he's on the one in either Rhode Island or the one in Hartford area. He's on one of the two. And of course, he's there WrestleMania weekend. But I run into Rhino probably 10 times last year.
Wow.
Different shows and stuff. Really hard working, badass, one of the nicest guys. And don't piss him off because he's tough.
Mm-hmm.
We've not had the best of past, but I think we got everything squashed now. We feel fine with each other.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
Yeah, I don't have no problems with nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, me either. The assholes don't last in the business. If you're an asshole,
No.
you don't have a 40-year career like I do.
Yeah.
The bad guys do not last.
Like I said, mine ended at 35, so I couldn't go off 40.
Right? Have we worked together? What companies have you worked for?
I've worked for all of them, and I worked a couple shows in ECW, but I know you did not ref any of the matches I did. I worked Balls twice and Sandman once there.
I only refereed the first 4 weeks I was there.
Okay.
And then they put me with Taz and of course Van Taboo. So
Yeah, like I said, I worked 2 wood balls, Woman Sandman, and somebody else I don't know is a dark match with some clown.
You work for Vince?
I worked a few matches with them. I never wanted to sign a contract with anyone.
Right.
I was very happy being just kind of a floater, I guess is a good way to put it.
Right.
You know, I mean, Harley Race took me to Japan back in '86.
So you got to work the territories.
Yeah, I Harley trained me in '84.
Wow. Wow.
So in '86, we went to Japan and wrestled in front of 50,000 people.
I was there with I showed you that picture of the Japanese magazine.
Yep.
It was Fujinami and Ric Flair in the main event, 65,000 people at the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, that same place we were at too, 50,000.
That's great.
Right? All right.
Yeah.
That was fucking unbelievable.
It was awesome. I didn't have to do anything. I was the worst guy in the building. You know, everybody hated me.
It's cool to walk out and there's a full color like that, man.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Did you guys stay at the Keo Plaza?
I believe so.
And
we were only there for like 3 days.
You went to Revere Steakhouse, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, any steakhouse, I've been to all of them.
Right.
I mean, around the world.
All the boys got there. Here's a pic right here. They give us all the jackets. There's Shane, the Dudley Boys, Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, and Fonzie.
Yeah.
House. You remember that one? They host all the Americans when they come. It's pretty cool. But congratulations for going to Japan.
Yeah, like I said, I've been there 3 times, and my favorite was Australia.
Oh. I didn't go to Australia, but I've been.
Oh, you should.
All through Europe.
It was beautiful.
WWF and all that, but didn't make. Yeah.
I think I've been to Germany once.
Yep.
And where the hell else was that? England. I've been there 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
But you know, I mean, I never wanted to sign with no one though. Vince wanted to sign me under a non-compete clause, but then on top of that, he didn't want me to work nowhere. I said, nah, I said I can't do that. Right. And then Eddie Farhead even actually tried to sign me.
If he was paying you $200,000, okay.
Yeah, but he wouldn't want to pay me $200,000.
Right.
You know, he's wanting to pay me $20,000 to stay home, and I said, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
No.
Like I said, Eddie Farhead tried that stuff with me too, and that didn't work out as well for him as he hoped. The Sheik.
Eddie Farhead?
Yeah, not the Sheik, but his son. He was running a show here in Michigan, and it was on TV. And
interesting.
He'd had me come out to the TV tapings. I'd tape for 8 hours at a time, and it was just like brutal.
Right.
But that's actually where I first met Sabu at. Was at one of those TV tapings.
Wow.
Him and Kevin Sullivan was playing games with me.
I see Kevin all the time. In fact, I'm with him. Not this weekend, but on the 10th, they're rebooting Championship Wrestling League from Florida.
That'd be cool.
Company CCW's doing a joint show with a different promotion, and they're trying to bring this back. And so we're shooting TV there on the 10th of February. We did 3 shows already, and this is going to be they're going to shoot 3 shows, like a studios type shows, like the old days. Kevin's on the card.
Did you ever work in St. Louis with Sam Mushnick?
I know Sam Mushnick. Of course, I worked St. Louis a few times.
Yeah, I worked there quite a bit in the beginning. That's where I'm from.
What a name, Sam.
Yeah, I think his son or grandson even is trying to reboot that one.
Wow,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know because obviously I'm not down there watching it because I'm here, but hopefully soon I'll be down there and I can tell you what's going on.
Right.
Let's let these other guys ask a question. I mean, you quit reminiscing about the old days.
Oh no, that's what people want to hear, man. Hear about where we've been and what we've done and who we worked with and stuff. Pretty damn cool, brother. But questions?
Before a question, we had a comment from Sharon. It says, are you going to do Astronomicon or Mineral Pop Fest? That's here in Monroe, Michigan.
Well, when is that?
So Mineral Pop Fest, that's in September, 2nd week in September, I would say.
I haven't been contacted, But is it like a WrestleCon type thing?
It's a comic convention, but they have wrestlers down here.
Wow. No, I haven't been invited to that one. I would love to come. If you guys hear of anything, give me a call. But
Well, we know the guy who runs it.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We can.
drop my name, and Jeff's my boy. So just
Yep.
go to Jeff, and he'll hook us up. And hell yeah, would love to come. But as far
Hell,
as
you-
right now, no. But I do stay busy on the fucking weekends, brother. I'm booked all the way through April. I got shows in June already.
But you know you can stay at my house anytime you want to.
Thanks, Daddy.
Oh,
very,
no problem.
very cool. But usually they put you in a hotel. But
Oh, yeah.
you
But I'm
know
a
what?
cheap ass.
I was in High Times magazine with Van Damme and Sabu. The High Times magazine,
Yep.
and
We know exactly what it is.
it's legal in Michigan, brother.
Yeah.
So I still smoke.
No, trust me. I know you do.
Right, Daddy? I know you guys hooked me up at that fucking in Battle Creek.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
for that too. I won't forget it.
I actually had to walk like 2 miles to hook Rob up the week before when he was in battle, or what was that at? Grand Rapids.
Wowzers.
And, I figured it'd be quicker to walk, but shit, I didn't realize how old I got.
Right?
I took an Uber back.
Yeah, right.
I got there and said, nah, I'm calling an Uber. Huh?
You know what? That's enough walking.
Yeah, I love it. Some of the states is fucking legal, and some you gotta have a medical card. Here in Florida, you gotta have the medical card, but they got True Leaves in the place you can walk in. I don't want a medical card.
No.
Fucking, I'll bring it home like when I go up there. So when I was up there with you guys in Michigan, somebody gave me an ink pen, the cartridges, and of course I smoked.
Yep.
As long as you don't take a fucking big bag home, they don't care. If you take a little eighth or something sealed up, they don't care. But
Hell, I've mailed out pounds of it before.
yeah, Jeff's gonna hook me up for being on the
Yeah.
on the podcast, because sometimes I'll get a talent fee for being on the podcast, but I waive that with you guys, of course, because you're Jeff's boys, and I know you, Daddy.
No,
Thank you.
That he would send me some bud. I said that'd be very cool, So
oh yeah, I'll take care of you. Like I said, we'll have fun. We'll see each other again personally soon.
Oh fuck yeah. I'm sure Sabu and I have something in Michigan this year. I'm sure we do, but not the one you had just mentioned to me. But I'm sure we got something coming up.
Well, like I said, I'll make sure I come out to see you and bring these clowns with me.
Yes.
Yeah, bring the boys, man. Fuck, we have a good time. We're fucking have
Yeah.
out and have the after party, have cocktails, and we got to eat something. I don't want to go back to the hotel. Fuck.
Yeah. Where did we eat at last time we was together? I don't remember where the fuck it was.
It wasn't that diner. It was someplace.
It was actually a good place to eat. I don't remember where it was at though.
I think it was a diner, maybe.
Yeah. Or shoot, I don't know. I eat out all the time, so I don't never know.
Right, something that's open late at night and is decent.
Yeah.
So Ryan asks, who was your favorite person to work with?
Damn, that is impossible to answer. I love working with Van Damme because he was supernatural. He reminded me of a redwood tree because of redwood tree. So unusual. He had those big thighs, and nobody does the 5-star frog splash like Van Damme. He got that extra strength. Plus, when he started working out and shit, really, he's got supernatural thighs. I like working with Sabu because he was so fucking hardcore. I like working with Dusty because he gave me my break, took me to WCW, gave me my career. He was so smart. I love working with Gordon Soley and those guys, all the old timers, Paul Heyman, Todd Gordon, man, treated me so well, probably in the ECW. Guys in the ring from, Taz, Bobby Duncombe, Dick Murdoch, Harley Race, the Funks, work with, you guys know Matthew Justice?
Yes.
I work with him all the time at AIW. He's badass. There's so many freaking superstars that are fun to work with, man.
That's awesome.
Mankind, Jake the Snake, a 5-star. Who's a better worker than Jake the Snake and Barry Windham and Bret Hart? You know what I mean? In the ring. Got to work with Kevin Sullivan and Wahoo McDaniel, Andre the Giant, Rick Rude, Fujinami, Brian Pillman, all these guys. Got to work with this guy. Everybody on all my little action figures, I got to work with every one of them.
Nice.
Fucking unbelievable. I love working. I put Beulah over. Almost bled to death, but two non wrestlers. And if you ask Paul Heyman today, hey Paul, name 5 of your favorite matches in ECW, and he's going to name the Fonzie Beulah match every time.
Oh yeah,
3 favorite matches.
That's awesome.
Got to work with people like Andre the Giant, brother, you crazy man, Bruiser Brody. It's impossible. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, all the old timers that grew up in the business, man. It's just impossible to name one. The Rock, I worked with Moolah.
Yeah.
Moolah, can you imagine?
yeah.
When I was breaking in, she was, towards the end of her career, and she ran all the girls. She was in charge of all the girls. So let me give you an example. So the Florida territory, Mid-Atlantic territory, Texas territory, Bill Watts' territory, Don Owens out in Oregon. So, the Kansas City, San Muncie territory. So guys would go work for a year in Florida, go to, Portland for a year, go to this place for a year. So doing all those territories. So fuck, man, I forgot what I was going to say, but it was just great, man, working with all those guys. So anyway, those guys like Jake the Snake and Barry Windham was one premier workers. Kurt Hennig, 5-star workers in the ring.
Absolutely.
That's great.
So I'm just curious. We asked this to most of our guests that mentioned Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase had Virgil with him at all times.
Yes.
And the NWO had Virgil. Do you have any Virgil stories by chance?
Well, when I was there in 92 and 93 and 94, remember I came in right after WrestleMania 8.
Right.
I did WrestleMania 9, and I left right before, like a month before 10, and went to ECW. And Virgil was there with Ted and all that, and he didn't wrestle much. I still see Virgil, or I did see Virgil a lot at these shows.
Okay.
At the Comic Cons and WrestleCon,
right?
Stuff like that. Always cool with me. I know the women liked him because he had a big fucking black dick. No bad stories about Virgil. Just
that's good.
One of the boys.
That's good.
I wanted to ask you about a particular match. It was actually the chain match between the Sheik and Terry Funk. I want to ask you about that. What was the most challenging aspect of that match?
That was one of my first matches I got paid for. That was, I think, 1978 or 1979 in Lubbock, Texas. I refereed the main event, which was the Sheik and Terry Funk in a chain match. And I remember this is my first professional match. I made $90 that night, and the place was sold out and all that. The Sheik ended up, they got double juice and they beat the fuck out of each other. And the Sheik, he pulls out a gimmick and stabs you. Whether he was stabbing Terry Funk, and he ended up stabbing me in the arm with a pencil, not on the shoe, but he stabbed me a little bit hard, and he stabbed me right in my arm. And I still got the lead mark where he stabbed me. It's like a permanent tattoo,
Oh yeah, wow.
Here, but that was pretty cool. That was can you imagine your first professional match? Now I had been around the business trying to break in, but they had David Manning, Bronco Lubitz. They had so many referees there in Texas. There was 4 territories in Texas. The Von Erichs had Dallas in that area. Telly Blanchard's dad, Joe Blanchard, had San Antonio, Corpus Christi in that area. Paul Bosch, you know this, Daddy. Paul Bosch only ran Houston, and the Funks ran Amarillo and Lubbock, and then up in northern Texas. So there was 4 territories. So, and I got to work for each one of those guys. So, can you imagine one of your first matches, the Sheik and Terry Funk in a chain match, and it was pretty fucking cool, challenging. It was green. It was green as fuck, but for some reason I got through it really good, and the Funks loved me for some reason. Then I ended up working with Dory. He was a book, ended up being when I got hired May of 1980 for Florida Championship Wrestling. Dusty was the booker and Jerry Briscoe was assistant. Then Dusty went to TBS or wherever, and then Dory Funk Jr. was the booker, and Dutch Mantell was the assistant booker. Then he left, and Wahoo McDaniel was the booker, and this guy was the assistant. So I've been through a lot of bookers and stuff. So it was a little intimidating that match, but for some reason I got through it. Dory Funk loved me. Because I was really good at remembering finishes. You know this. You remember the heels and baby faces were 2 different dressing rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know how it is now. You go to a fucking indie show and the guys talk for an hour about every spot they're gonna do. And back in the day, the guys did not see each other until they got in the ring.
I prefer it that way.
The only communication they had was through me, the referee. And I just would go over and say, hey, Dusty said Kevin Sullivan over by hooking the bam, doing this and doing that, 1, 2, 3. And then they would do it fucking, have a match and spectacular. Never see each other till they got in the ring. Crazy. Now they couldn't do that today, but that was the business back then.
Well, me and Balls worked so many matches together, we never talked about it.
Right.
We talk about the last 30 seconds, and that's it.
Wow.
Right. God bless Balls Mahoney. One badass in the ring. And
dude, if you've never taken a chair shot from him, god damn.
No, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I didn't take a chair shot.
The very first one he hit me, he actually made my ears bleed.
Wow.
So when they got me in the back of the locker room, because I wasn't out, but I wasn't awake either. I reached my bag and pulled my gun out and stuck it in his face. Told him if he ever fucking did that again, I'd blow his head off.
Concussion, yeah. Brother, there's ways to hit you with a chair and not kill you. Balls hit a lot of guys that way, and I don't think it's cool unless it's okay with the guy. And I don't think it's okay even if the guy says go ahead and fucking hit.
No, I mean, like I said, I love the guy to death, and he actually stayed at my house quite a bit too.
Who?
Balls did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we had that first match, and we got everything worked out after that. We had like 8 or 9 or 10 after that, and he nowhere near hit me that hard again.
Right? There's no reason to do that.
I'll tell you what, he was scared to death when that gun went in his face.
Right.
And I was dead serious.
Yeah, there's no reason to be like that, man.
But actually, who was it? He was actually supposed to work Vito Lagasse that night, and Vito wouldn't work him because Balls wanted to do something weird. I don't know what it was, and it was a bad scene.
Yeah, Balls was out there. He was hardcore, but he would would give it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He hit you that hard, made your ears bleed, brother. If you hit him the same, he would say, "Oh, hey, fuck, did I hit you that hard? Let's not do that again." But I seen him take some crazy shit. Why he's dead, probably. Fuck, who knows?
Oh yeah, I guarantee you that. Well, he was working a match. He was outside the ring, and he stabbed me in the head with a fork, and it went down instead of just in. It went in. I could look up and I could see the fork just going like this. So I pulled it out, and I just started beating the hell out of him. I mean, I was hitting him with everything I had. And about 30 seconds into it, he leans over. Well, quit hitting me so hard. I said, no, fuck you. We're doing this. I was pissed.
Yeah, there's no reason to kill each other when you can wear it's a fucking work. We're sports entertainment.
Yeah, we finally worked it out to where it didn't hurt neither one of us.
Stuff like that made ECW though.
Oh
That,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
Sandman was just rough.
who knew there was a market for that kind? You know, Vince
Oh
McMahon,
yeah,
the doctor, his wife, and the 2 kids at ringside. ECW wanted hardcore violence, and our clientele was 75% men, the age of 19 to 30 years old, that wanted to see the blood and guts, and we gave
oh
it.
yeah.
And we ended up doing really good. We were a fucking huge company, you know.
Yep.
But the problem was we were making 17, $18 million a year, but we were spending 19. You
Yeah.
know, we didn't have the corporate sponsors as big as we should have, but fuck, I made good money, worked every fucking weekend for 5 years. I went in May of 1995, brought me in to do that. I just left WWF. Paul Heyman brought me in and put me with Taz. Taz didn't need me anymore because he could do his own promos, and they put me with Van Dam and Sabu, and you guys know the rest of the story.
Now was you there when oh shit, Gangrel was there?
Yeah,
I worked. That's when I came in a couple times.
I see Gangrel. He works for that company in CCW. Here he is right here. Look at this poster. That's CCW. That's the show. I got one coming up. There's Gangrel, Fonzie, Tata Charlie. That's the Florida show that I'm there Saturday in Miami with these guys, and Gangrel's usually there. He's there. They have a school. They have 2 wrestling schools, and he's one of the teachers at the one in Miami.
Now I'll tell you what, I love Luna Vachant. Luna and my son were really close friends, but she was always as nice as possible to me. I mean, she had my back more than once.
Florida, when she was with Kevin Sullivan, they shaved half of her head, and she did devil gimmick with Kevin, and then I worked with her when she was working in the ring with the girls and all that. But yeah, it's hard. Died young, brother. Fuck.
Yep. Yeah, I loved her to death. I mean, I hated. Well, she passed away about the same time Balls did, didn't she? I think a few days after.
Sure
oh, that was China. That was China. I'm sorry.
They died young. Everyone, all of them, died, including Kurt Hennig, David Von Erich.
I haven't seen the Von Erich movie yet. Apparently, I'm gonna have to wait till it comes out of Netflix now.
Neither have I. I'm just waiting.
I hung out with those guys quite a bit down in St. Louis.
Yep, they were big stars. The Von Erichs were big names back in the day.
Hell, I've always had this body I got now. I always wish I had the other one.
Oh, you're a big kid. You're a big kid, and there was a spot for you.
Oh yeah.
No, let me name some a few of the big guys that are the best workers in the business. Balls. I mean, One Man Gang. Fuck, could he fucking work? And he was a big. There's so fucking many. Bam Bam Bigelow, fucking another big guy, could work his fucking ass off. Ray, I don't know if you guys remember Ray Candy, big black guy, fucking 5-star worker. Guys like that. So you're a big kid, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's a place for you guys.
Yep.
Or you guys can work your ass off, and some of you guys are the shits. But and you lasted a long time when you had a long career.
Oh yeah, I had a great career. I loved it.
Because you can work.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
And those guys that had special abilities like Bam Bam and One Man Gang that are fucking unbelievable.
Yes, they were, and they made me look bad even. I mean, they did so many things that I could not physically do. I still can't do a cartwheel. I would love to. Yeah,
Bam Bam was badass.
Yeah, it was amazing that he did that. And I tried it a few times. I said, nah, fuck this. I'll kill myself.
One Man Gang at these WrestleCons every once in a while. He's on one. He's doing good. Still married to the same girl. Lives in Louisiana. Yep, I see him. He's 5-star.
Good.
Absolutely.
You got another question before we wind up?
Yes, I wanted to ask you, throughout your career in wrestling, how have the policies and procedures changed over the decades?
Changed a lot.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
That's
Well,
deep.
uh, speaking of the old, I just went over all the territories like Florida, Mid Atlantic. Those days never be repeated. We've evolved to sports entertainment. Vince McMahon, it was WWF, Worldwide Wrestling, or Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Vince McMahon took the word wrestling out of the logos, Worldwide Entertainment. Now it's sports entertainment, which is okay. It's changed a lot. It's changed a lot from, the size of the guys now. There's superstars that weigh 180 pounds, 170 pounds. Look at some of the guys like CM Punk, Dusty's Kid Cody. They're not big guys, but fuck, they're big names. They don't work the same. A lot of it's high flying and those two big companies. I'm glad AEW came around, gives guys another place to go, but they're not as big as Vince, and it never will be.
Well, I don't know. Once Vince changes over to Netflix, is that where he's going?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's going to hurt him. I really do.
The WWE is not going nowhere. They're still going to be the biggest company on the planet.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they're huge.
That's another evolution. It's evolving.
Yep, I know. And I'm
Oh,
not a big fan of change.
I was on the first Monday Night Raw in 1993. First,
Yep.
who thought every Monday night to have wrestling live? Who the fuck thought of that? And it's still going on today, 40 something years later, or 38 years later. Remember on TBS 605 every Saturday. Gordon Soley at 605 is crazy, man. The business, the territory has changed immensely, but it's changed for the better. There's better money. When I was Vince in 93 or WCW, say WCW 990 to 91, 92, then I went to Vince. Brother, I was a referee making $150,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's fucking unbelievable money. Now you get a contract, a mid-card guy get a contract to $200,000-300,000 with Vince.
Yeah.
Or Tony Khan, you get a contract with those guys. And then the middle guys 400,000-500,000, and then the top guys making millions.
Well, the week before the Battle Creek show, I had an interview with Tony Khan.
Wow.
I didn't put that out too much because I didn't get the job, but yeah.
Really? That's cool.
But I'm not going to go into that too much. But you'll see who got the job soon.
Well, let's see. QT, you know who he is?
Yep.
QT, he was working for Tony, and he was in the office, and he came up to me twice. I've seen him at 2 different events. He said, Fonzie, your name came up in a production meeting. So they've talked about me. So let's see what happens.
Well, I could put the bug in their ear a little bit more for you.
Oh, don't put the bug in your ear. It's already there.
Yeah.
Don't.
I'll tell you how that works out in a minute.
All right.
When we get off of here, I'll talk to you.
Yeah. But I would love to get a contract with those guys.
Oh, okay. I never thought about it.
Yeah, who wouldn't? You know what I mean?
Fair.
People who are old like me that don't want to work no more.
Hey, look, they need more wrestling people. Me and Reese.
The only problem with AEW, and this is the honest truth from what I've heard from everyone in the locker room, from Jerry Lynn on down, the younger kids do not want to listen to the older people.
Oh, shocker.
The older people done it once and didn't work. They're trying to reinvent the wheel.
Sure.
Okay, what were you going to say?
Their problem. They got to listen to the fucking boss, the owner, and the booker, whatever. If the boss says, if the booker says, "Hey, we want you to do this," and they refuse, that's their problem.
Yep.
But who I like is Hook.
Yeah, I love him. That's Taz's really kid, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's very much. He's not a big guy.
No.
Ass off and he's marketable. He's very marketable. You know, he's very marketable. So I'm limited. So what they're going to do with me, I don't know. They're going to put me in the managing thing, or I'm sure they're not going to put me in as a referee. But honestly, I'm not that marketable. I'm the marketable if they put me in with one of their top guys, and I can work. You know, like Van Dam, I never run, but these young kids are very marketable, and that's what it's all about. And that's the kids that are making fucking big money.
100%.
You got another question?
My one last question. As a man of many roles, the manager and the referee, what's some of the differences and similarities that you can point out between the two roles that you've noticed within your many years?
Well, it's just all of us have something in common. The referees, the managers, the wrestlers, the bookers, we're all in the same business. We're all trying, it's a team effort. We're all trying to put on a production. We're all trying to put on a show. So my part as a manager, I had to do certain things. Thank you, Miss Alfonso. You sure are beautiful. She just came with a sign that said, "You're almost at an hour." They've been trying to wind me up for the last 10 minutes, baby. I'm having a good time with the boys. They love the business as much as I do, babe. So even as a referee, that question that you asked me as a referee, I was a very important role in putting together a show. Going back and forth, talking in different dressing rooms, and
right.
I was in the ring, calling it right down the middle. My job was very important. The finishes and so on. And as a manager, I had to do my stuff. So all the jobs are similar. We all had a part to play.
Right.
That's the question. But what makes a good show is a team effort.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
So listen, the first match is important. You know this, Daddy, as important as the last match, because the first match can set the pace of the whole show. Right. You go out there and you have a shitty fucking first match. My God, it sets the pace. But if you go out there with a bang and start the fucking show with a great first match, and boom, you got the people wanting more.
Yeah, I always book those little flippy fuckers for the first match. Off the top rope and all that shit. I always put them up first.
We are entertainment business.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, I'll talk to you here in a little while. Probably tomorrow. How's that sound?
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, I'll give you a call tomorrow. We'll talk about some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right. I'll be looking at my Pacololo. Jeff's gonna got a little package. Anyway, yes, call me, Daddy. Thank you so much for having me on the show tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
I should come on and do it a couple of times a year.
Hey,
we're down.
We're down.
And congratulations for hitting 1,000 people.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very impressive. Good for you guys. Get bigger.
Absolutely.
Well, you have a good night, and with people like you, this is how it will get bigger.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys, so much for having me on your show, and I'm looking forward to talking and seeing you guys soon.
All right, take it easy.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go out.
All right, good night.
Good night.
All right. With that being said, we're going to end our show with our sponsors real quick. The Mint Cannabis, Smokers Society, Insane Wrestling Revolution, 8 Mile Vodka, Amaya's Fresh Mexican Grill, Lane's Pizzeria, Little Brown Jug, Cilantro, DTW, Pro Wrestling Edge, Cravings, Sports Cards and Collectibles, Jeff himself, Just Drive with Jess, and Nerdy Designs. Thank you all for your love and support. On every episode next week, we will be back with the one and only Ox from IWR himself in person. And with that, good night.